This time we're going to solve systems, but we're going to take it up a notch. We're going to do 3 variables and 3 equations rather than 2 variables, 2 equations. And this time I will let you do it on your calculator. So, linear equations and 3 variables usually have x, y, and z, and it's saying you can't have all the coefficients be 0. If it was just 0, that would just tell us that's a number, or just it's not going to give us any information at all. A solution to a system of 3 variables is, rather than an ordered pair, since it has 3 parts of the solution, it is going to be an ordered triple. You could write it as x, comma y, comma z. I'm also fine if you just write x equals, y equals, z equals, as long as you understand what the solution is. I don't mind how it's actually written, as long as you know what variable is what numbering. Whose coordinates make each equation true. So just like we did last class we set up this matrix with our coefficients of each equation. So here, rather than having a 2 by 2, I've got 3 equations and 3 variables. So I'm going to set up this 3 by 3 matrix. The rows will represent my equations. The columns will represent my variables, x, y, and z. So I'm just looking at my coefficients of this first equation. I have a coefficient of 2, a coefficient of 3, -1. Got a coefficient in my second equation of 3, 1, -3. I have a coefficient in my last equation of 1, -1, 1. Make sure you keep all your x's, your y's, your z's together, each your equations in one row. So we're saying if I take this and I multiply it times x, y, z, I will get the results of my equations. I'll get 13, I'll get 11, and I'll get 3. So remember from last class, if this is matrix A times matrix X equals matrix B, the way I undo this matrix A is I take the inverse of A times B. That cancels such that matrix X equals the inverse of A times B. The inverse of A, I'm going to take this in my calculator in a moment, but I'm going to do 2, 3, -1, 3, 1, -3, 1, -1, 1. Taking the inverse of this times my answers of 13, 11, 3, and I'm typing that in my calculator. If you have a TA84 or a similar addition, the way that we do so is we hit second, and then we hit this x to the little -1 where it says matrix on top. Go right to edit. We're going to press number 1 or enter, and we're going to change our matrix A to a 3 by 3. So you hit 3, enter, 3, enter. Then you can go ahead and enter your coefficients. 2, enter, 3, enter, -1, enter. Your other option is you can type in the numbers, and then once you have the number typed in, you can use the arrows to move around your matrix. I personally find this enter key a little easier and faster to use. Once you have those numbers entered into matrix A, hit second, x to the -1 again. We're going to edit. This time we're going to edit matrix B to be our answers of this 3 by 1 matrix. Once you have matrix B entered, the way I get out of this is I hit second mode, and it brings you back to your original screen. So if you hit second, this x little -1, and press number 1 for matrix A, you can either do to the power of -1, or your other option is to hit just that key we've been using. It does the power of -1 for you. And then second matrix, go down to number 2 for matrix B, my inverse of A times B. You hit enter, and it gives you that result for matrix X is 4, 2, 1. Which just is really just the same thing as saying this is the same as X, Y, Z. So X is 4, Y is 2, Z is 1. So as we look at this next one, I don't mind if you show your work this way or if you just write the inverse of that 3 by 3 times the answer. Either way works for me. But here, we're just setting up our 3 by 3, which is the coefficients of each of your variables. In this case, it would be 2, -2, -3, -2, 4, -6, 2, -6, -1. We do the inverse of that 3 by 3, multiply it times our answers of 24, 12, 16, And it should give you the results of what A, B, and C are. So, if you want the reminder of how to use your calculator, pull it out again, hit second, x to the negative 1, go right to edit. We're going to leave it as a 3 by 3, but now we're going to change the numbers inside the matrix. 2, enter, negative 2, enter, negative 3, enter, continue on. And don't forget your negatives. It will make a difference. Once again, once you're done with A, go to B. Second, x to the negative 1, go over to edit, go to number 2, 24, 12, 16. Second mode will get you out of there. And then we hit second, x to the negative 1, press number 1 for A. We want to the power of negative 1. Second matrix, number 2 for B. We get that the result for ABC is 6, 0, negative 4. Which is this is A, this is B, this is C. Go ahead and try the others on your own.